Okay, well, we just got in another customer question. Chris is starting up a new food truck and he wants to serve cocktails. Well, CanKeg would be perfect for making large batch cocktails. And the one he asked about was sex on the beach. Now, as you can see here in Canada right now, it's not exactly beach weather. So, we're going to switch over to our roving researcher in Mexico to find out what ingredients go into sex on the beach, because personally, I don't even know. So let's switch over to Jeremy in Mexico. Take it away.
Sex on the beach, vodka, cranberry, peach schnapps, and OJ.
Cheers. All right, beer nerds. Today, we're not talking about beer. What we're going to talk about today is large batch cocktails. Now, as you can see right here, I've got a few things all over my desk. Let's push this some. Okay, so when you're making a cocktail, you might want to make up a batch of margaritas. In this case, we're going to be talking about sex on the beach. And you want to make up a batch for the party. So, you could just do it in a pitcher. But why not do it in a couple pop bottles that you can throw into a cooler and bring out to the boat, out to the cabin or whatever. And then you could have each pop bottle has a sex on the beach, margaritas, maybe a Long Island iced tea, an old fashioned. We're going to look at all those drinks and how much go into this bottle. Another popular way would be to use a glass growler. And if you want to bump it up even further than that, you can go up to a 5-liter mini keg. This is the most popular thing that we sell at CanKeg, is these 5-liter mini kegs. And you want to go even higher than that, get yourself a 10-liter corny keg. And yes, if you have that many friends, or you're doing an event at a somewhat commercial level, this actually got liquid in it, you could go all the way up to a 20-liter corny keg, or multiples of this. I think that thing's full. Okay, so what we need to look at is a recipe. So what is sex on the beach? Spreadsheet. Typically it's vodka, peach snaps, orange juice, and cranberry juice, as we learned from Jeremy. So here's the trick, is that any recipe that you find out there is going to be in ounces. And we're here in Canada, of course, typically we're kind of split down the middle. We use half metric, everything's in Celsius, it's crazy. But it's a 2-liter pop bottle that I'm working with. So each drink is going to be a different amount of liquid in it. So for instance, sex on the beach, the total, once you got your 1.5 ounces of vodka, we can see, I'll just show here on the spreadsheet here, two, total of 6.5. Now, this is, as you can see over here, 67.6 ounces. So then we just do the math, right? And that brings us to, if you want to put that into here, you're going to get 10.4 servings. So any drink that you want to do this kind of conversion on, just find a standard single glass recipe, total up the amount of ounces, divide it into the volume of the thing you're serving, and there's your numbers. And here's just a sum just to kind of make sure that the math was accurate enough. So then you don't want to be sitting there going, jigger. So you just multiply it by 8, or rather divide it by 8. And then that gives you the cups. And just for simplicity, I got to move the sheet over here. So that gives you the cups there. So as you can see up in the cell here, so that's divided by 8 for all these. Gives us a total of 8.45 cups. And just for simplicity, if you have metric measuring in your house, there it is there in metric to give you a total of 2 liters. Close enough. Now, when you're doing the cups, I always like to figure out, how can I shorthand this so it's easy to remember. I mean, there's no way we can get around doing the math in terms of dividing the volume of a single drink into the vessel. But when you look at this, I mean, you can round that off to 2 cups, round that off to 1.5 cups, round that off to 2.5, 2.5. And then at the end of it, give it a little taste and add the one, or just top it off with vodka, of course. And so there you go. And so that's going to give you 10.4 servings in this pop bottle of Sex on the Beach. So then when you move down to margarita, we've got same math, and it gives us 16.9 servings because the total volume on here is 4 ounces. So that should make sense to everyone. And then, you go do all the math on that. If we go down, I also did an old fashioned because I knew it was mostly booze. And here you can see you get 2.25 ounces. Do the division, you get 30 servings of an old fashioned. And I mean, you can make up your own old fashioned mix, put some special, can you imagine? I mean, how many, actually I figured it out. You would get 75 servings of an old fashioned in a 5-liter keg. I mean, you basically filling the whole thing up with whiskey, though. I mean, I don't think that's the way to go. Use the pop bottle for that. But that's sort of the point, right? Is depending on the beverage, because if we go down a little bit further, we got a Long Island iced tea. In a 2-liter pop bottle, you're only going to get 7, well, almost 8 servings in here because there's so many ingredients, right? You can see going down there: vodka, gin, rum, tequila, triple sec, lemon juice. Can you get off the sheet here? Where'd it go? Cola. There we go. There's the total. So in a case like this, you would want to go up to, for sure, I would say at least a 5-liter keg. But if you're at a commercial event, you might want to bump up to the 10 or 20 liter kegs. Again, these can all be served with kits from CanKeg, with the exception of the pitcher. And the neat thing about that is that you can play with possibly carbonating them. Here, let's get this spreadsheet off the screen. Yeah, because I mean, would you want to carbonate an old fashioned? No. But maybe. Maybe I might give it a little bite. Who knows? Because you're not putting soda in there. You're not diluting it. You're just carbonating the existing beverage, which is mostly whiskey. Now that I think about it, it'd be fun to try carbonating whiskey. I'm sure there must be. I'm sure I've seen someone do that on YouTube already. So yeah, this whole thing can be drained either with a soda stream canister, which is very popular. And I'll put a link to a chart I made one time showing how many times you can drain one of these, which each time per vessel. Soda stream, the 5-pound tanks, paintball tanks, and then right down to these little guys right here. Certainly, if you're serving something that is not maintaining carbonation, you can serve this whole keg with one of these little guys. So in the case of an old fashioned, you're good for all day. But let's go back to Sex on the Beach, because that's sort of the main, or that and the margaritas. So, you could get 42 servings of a margarita mix. That's tequila, orange liqueur, lime juice, and agave. 42 servings in this 5-liter keg. And all you'd have to do is hook up the soda stream. And you don't even have to be that cautious about using Star San, because, I mean, you could really just give it a good rinse, because all these ingredients are fridge stable, right? And it's not like beer if it touches oxygen. So, I mean, it's pretty relaxed. I mean, when you think about homebrew, you got to be so careful about carbonation levels, and you got to worry about foaming, and you got to worry about contaminating with oxygen. But large batch cocktails are so easy. You just give it a rinse, pour in all the ingredients with the funnel, throw the cap on, and you just use enough CO2 to just push it out of the glass, out into the glass. And you can use whatever tap use a picnic hose, or even use a full tap. Let me grab one. So here we got, the intertap. Ah! How many times have I told people, make sure you got the handle off first? And I did it to myself. Oh, what is in here anyway? Old beer. Like I was saying, with beer you gotta be so careful. I was probably doing a demo with this one time before, left the beer in there. Forgot about it. Ugh. Anyway, I'll get that vinegar off my desk later. Anyhow, yeah, so much easier with large batch cocktails. I think that answers the question. I mean, really, it all has to do with the spreadsheet and the math. You got to divide it into the vessel size and bang, bang, bang. It's pretty easy, but to really just answer the question, and you could throw chunks of ice in there too if you wanted to just. It's so easy compared to beer. So anyway, I hope that answers the question, and keep them coming.